Hey guys, this is Crazy Carl from the Weird Forums, back with another 35 Soulstone Malifaux video battle report of aSom'er versus Von Schill, played by Takaji from the Weird Forums. So here you can see our deployments. I'm deployed down on the bottom of the screen with the Gremlins, and Corey's up on the top with his Von Schill crew. Got a lot of line of sight blocking terrain, which is going to be nice for the guns, but Von Schill's able to just kind of fly on top of it and ignore it. Not really a problem for him. You can see he has a trapper pretty much dead center in the middle of the board, about 14 inches away from my guys, so he's able to take some pot shots at them at will, which is going to be pretty good for him in the future. So, on to the victory point gathering things. Corey had claim jump, which is not stake a claim. He also had bodyguard and gather soulstones. Bodyguard good for Von Schill because of the slow to die and soulstone healing flip, and gather soulstones good because you can just sacrifice your guys. Why not? Grab some extra soulstones. And for aSom'er, we had Slaughter, which is interesting. I took Thwart, which I hid, and stake a claim on the bunker in the back part of the board, because I figured I could just toss something over there at some point. It wouldn't really be an issue. Thwart could be tough, but it's not insurmountable. So, on to deployment. You can see I have Ophelia, 3 Bayou Gremlins, Summerteeth Jones, a giant mosquito, a slop hauler, a hog whisperer, and a gremlin taxidermist, which left me with some number of soulstones. I think it was 2. And the taxidermist is going to be pretty good, but I haven't really tried him, and he's not really been great, so we'll see how he is. So Von Schill's side of the board had Von Schill himself, 2 free corpsmen, Taylor, a specialist, a librarian, and then the trapper that you saw in the center of the board. He's kind of deployed behind some walls, so it'll give him some nice line of sight blocking terrain. We did the middle as type 1 and the size as type 2, just to make it a little bit different. So, you can see at the end of turn 1, there was just a general advance from me. Corey was able to kill off one of my Bayou Gremlins, which was going to keep me from getting an extra mosquito, and I ended up drawing a couple extra cards off of that, and I was able to turn it into a stuffed piglet, which I moved up the board, and was able to give float and reactivate with the Hog Whisperer, which was nice. It gave me something to do with the Hog Whisperer turn 1. And it went up to engage with the Free Core Trapper, which was super exciting. And as you can imagine, didn't do a whole heck of a lot. You can see him up there on the cliff after floating up there, which Corey was entertained by, as of course anybody would be. The pig was able to pull off 2 wounds, and then I realized that his guys are all immune to blasts and pulses, which was super awesome, which meant my stuffed piglets would do pretty much nothing for most of the game, in addition to summer spells not doing much for most of the game. So here's the overview after turn 1, and it's just a general advance from Summer and a general advance from Von Schill. Von Schill kind of pushed himself up a little bit and brought the rest of his crew up, kind of keeping everything all together. Nothing very huge that turn, although I was down 2 points from Slaughter. Not very enjoyable for me. So, you can see in the next series of pictures that we had a little bit of action on this turn. The Specialist, which moved up, you can see on the right side of the board, he threw some fire at my guys and killed off some models. I had Summer up on the cliff after going around trying to kill some models. Wasn't able to pull anything off, thanks to flight and reactivate and all that good stuff, which left him very out in the open. I brought Ophelia up to deal with the trapper, but she was unable to kill it. I think I didn't even hit him actually, which was really unfortunate. So she's kind of hid down there to try and not draw fire from the rest of the free corpsmen. And the trapper, I think, might have taken a couple wounds off of my Hog Whisperer. Corey realized pretty quickly how important that was. Summer was going to deal with the Specialist. However, Corey informed me that the Specialist gives me a minus flip on any duels involving melee. Well, at least if their willpower 6 or below, which is my entire crew. So, not the greatest for me, as I'm going to have a hard time meleeing that guy with my pigs. With the extra corpse counter left over from losing another model, I was able to summon another stuffed piglet, which did nothing to the free core Specialist. I tried to focus a strike and didn't really do very much. So, next turn saw me winning initiative, which was really important because I had Summer kind of sitting up on that cliff with a lot of wounds on him, and Corey was pretty confident he was going to take him out. So I brought him back, healed him up, reactivated him, and did all that good stuff while kind of consolidating my position in the center of the table, whereas Corey kind of moved around to try and engage me. I tossed a mosquito in the way of one of his free corpsmen because they've got a pretty good odds of keeping them engaged, and that keeps them from shooting. They're pretty good in close combat, but much better at shooting, in my opinion. Corey did forget that he was able to flurry later on in the game, which was kind of unfortunate for him, but, you know, it happens. So, Von Schill kind of moved up and threatened the board. I moved up a Mosquito, and Corey decided to move Taylor back to deal with it. And the Mosquito, you know, they're defense 7, so they can survive a little while. That Mosquito is also able to get off a hit on something, I believe, and it was able to get its wounds up to 4, which meant it would be able to survive an attack. So, you can see the board after turn 3. Not a lot has changed, I believe. The Specialist moved around back behind that cliff, which is why you can't see it in the picture. Trapper still hanging out. Von Schill came around, took some shots at some of my utility models. Was not able to do a whole heck of a lot. aSom'er moved around and really, again, didn't do very much. So turn 4 was the big turn. This is where things really turned around for aSom'er. I was doing okay, but this is where it really turned around. So Ophelia moved up, did a drive-by shot on Von Schill, and then Uagirled up on aSom'er. And aSom'er, after getting reactivate, was able to charge and do a bunch of attacks, which eventually killed Von Schill. The Peaches can really hit like a train. Gore is a really, really good ability, and then just getting the extra attacks is just, it can be pretty brutal. Something I do need to look up is if you are charging and you gore with your first attack, and then the second attack you do drumstick, and the third attack you gore again, do you get the +1 damage? I don't actually know. So, you can see the Specialist moved out from behind that cliff, and I decided to toss a Mosquito in the way to keep him from shooting at me, because Specialist is pretty good against Gremlins. I mean, if he shoots at if I have a stuffed piglet kicking around, or something like that with low defense, or aSom'er himself, and just do tons and tons of damage. So this is the board after turn 5. It's pretty much clean up from here on out. We had an interesting situation when Von Schill died. There was a bit of a discussion. I thought it might not be a bad idea to just sacrifice the guys he had around Von Schill, using a slow to die action to get some extra Soulstones, because Von Schill had already gone through a bunch. Problem was aSom'er could have made some more significant models and then sacrificed them, and that might be a big deal. So Taylor dealt with that Mosquito, and then came up to try and deal with aSom'er and Ophelia. It just really wasn't in the cards at this point. Corey had some really, really bad hands. And by really bad, I mean, I think 2/3 of his hands, at the very least, had no cards higher than a 7. And anybody who's played Malifaux is going to tell you it's going to be pretty tough to deal with. So, that Specialist was going to try and kill off the Hog Whisperer on Corey's last turn. However, Corey decided it would be best to move over to his claim jump, which was behind that hill. I forgot to mention that. So he moved over there. Unfortunately, I just have too many movement shenanigans. I was able to poop out a Piglet with aSom'er, and then use Root Around to make it significant. Root Around is a really, really good spell. It makes the Piglets very, very good. So that was pretty much it. I ended up winning 8-2, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please do comment below if you enjoy the videos. Let me know what you like, and if you don't like things, well, tell me what those are too, because I'd really like to make these enjoyable for everybody. I enjoy making them, but I want to make sure people like them. Also, please subscribe, as it will really help out a lot. So, thanks a lot, and see you guys around.